Hello students, I welcome you all to Current Affair Lectures by Azad ICS Academy, and today we are going to look into the current affairs of 8th April 2025. So let us see. Before we start with this, we'll see the questions that we discussed yesterday. Okay. So what is the term Hadean protocrust refer to? So we had discussed that this means the Earth's crust. So anything that is related to Earth. So you can see these two options have Earth. Even this has Earth with this. This is not right because it's inside layer. So the Earth's outermost layer, when it was first formed, is known as Hadean's protocrust, right? So this is the right answer. And what process began as the plates start moving on the asthenosphere? See, any plate that is moving on the asthenosphere is called as plate tectonics. So answer is plate tectonics over here, right? So these are the questions that we saw yesterday. Now let us see the important topic for today, right? So the magic of mirror. So we'll discuss a little bit about mirror, how mirror is made and all of that. How is it able to show your reflection? So how you can see your own reflection in the mirror. Okay. This article explains how the mirror works by combination of glass and metal. So you can see one side you have a metal and on the other side you have a glass and you're able to see your own reflection. Okay. Using basic physics and simple terms. So it is using basically simple physics and terms. Okay. A mirror is an object. So before that, materials that have behaved differently on the surface and inside, such as metals outside and an insulator inside, is called a topological material. So a material which is like a metal outside and an insulator inside is called as a topological material. Such materials were discovered in the second half of the 20th century, and some of the discoveries also won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2016. Right? So now we'll see about the mirror. We all love to dress, right? So when you're dressing up and when you want to get groomed, that's when you stand in front of the mirror, right? So mirror is an object that shows a clear reflection of whatever is in front of it. It feels like glass, but always reflects back, allowing us to see ourselves. So we are able to see ourselves because there is a glass. It looks like it's just a glass, but it's not just a glass. It's giving us our own reflection as well, right? So unlike plain glass, will let most of the light pass through. A mirror reflects most of it. So in the mirror, if you take a normal glass, okay, and if you pass a light, all the light will pass from one end to another end. So if there is a glass, you can see what is there next on the other side. But that same thing does not happen in a mirror. In the mirror, what happens here is you're able to see your own reflection because all the light that is coming is getting reflected back. So if this is coming and it is getting reflected back, this is how the light is coming and it is getting reflected back. So because all the light that is coming is reflecting back, the mirror is able to, form the reflection. How does a mirror work? A mirror has a clear glass in front and a shiny metal layer at a back of the reflecting light. So here you will have a glass and at the back you will have a metal and that metal will help it reflect. When you look into the mirror, the light from your face goes through the glass and hits the metal. So whenever you look into a mirror, so the light is passing from your face and it is going and hitting the metal and the shiny metal layer bounces. So that metal layer will bounce the light back through the glass in the same direction as it came. So as it came in the same direction, the light is coming and hence you're able to see your reflection. The shiny metal layer bounces the light back through the glass and the same direction it came. This reflected light enters into your eyes, allowing you to see your own face or anything else clearly. So what happens here is whatever reflected light is there, it comes back and hits our eyes. And because it hits our eyes, we are able to see the reflection. And this is how the mirror basically works. The glass protects the metal layer and keeps the mirror safe while allowing light to pass through it easily. So the glass is also kind of protecting the metal basically. This is how it works. Okay, what metals and insulators are? Metals are shiny things, okay, like your steel cups, plates, etc. Aluminium, pressure cooker, and coins in your purse. So these are all metallic objects, usually hard, not easy to break, okay, and silver shiny. They're all, they also get cold and hot easily during the conducting current. It is one reasons which when never touch a socket using a spoon. So you should not take a socket and go and put a spoon inside it. Okay. The insulator objects, on the other hand, are made up of glass wood. So what is a conductor or what is an insulator? What is a metal? See, metal is something which is very hard. You all know that these metallic objects you see in your day-to-day life. And insulators are something which are not allowing the electricity to pass through. For example, plastic is there, glass is there, wood is there, etc. These things usually do not conduct current and also often don't look silvery as well. An electric current is conducted by electrons. Atoms also have positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons. In the metal, electrons are uncurious and fun-loving kids. They leave the parent atom and move around different atoms, forming a big soup of electrons. And on the other hand, the insulators, where every electron in an atom is bit shy, stays close to the parent atom, and therefore we put them in our battery and try to push the electron. They will move in a metal since they are unruling, but the insulator, they don't. Therefore, metals conduct electricity and insulators do not conduct. So this is very simple. Okay, what they're trying to explain is how a metal works, which is a conductor, and how a non-metal works. When a metal is there, they have negative charges and positive charges. These negative charges basically keep on moving. They are very unstable, you can see. They keep on moving, and that is why current is being passed. But the same thing does not happen in insulators. This current does not pass, and this is how the insulators are. Okay. Now, because this is what is given for this particular topic, right? Now, let us see the next important article that we have. Japan Emperor visits Yoshima to honor war dead. So Japan's emperor and empress visit Yoshima to honor a war debt of 80th anniversary of Second World War. So Second World War has happened and it is 80 years that have been passed. So to, commemorate that, the people have been, visiting. These are, they are the emperor and empress have visited this particular, or death anniversary. So a war on death, who people who have all died on Second World War. So they have visited their funerals or they have visited their burials, you can say. Iwo Jima is a small volcanic island located about 1000. So this is a place. They have visited this particular place. Which is the place? This is a place, okay, which is in visit a tiny Pacific island, okay, to mark 80th anniversary. So where did they go? They go to this particular place. Why they're going to that particular place? It is somewhere around 1250 kilometers away from Tokyo. Okay, Japan. It was a site of 5-week battle. So we have to understand this, that the Second World War took for 5 weeks battle in 1945. During the Second World War, the Japan and the United States. So Second World War basically happened between the Japan and the United States for them. Around 21,000 Japanese soldiers died and US suffered 6,800 deaths and 19 injuries during the battle. So this is the entire, statistics. The island is mostly remembered through famous photos of US Marine raising the American flag. So basically, how do we remember this island? In this, you can see that the USA is raising its flag to show the victory. Flag on the Mount Suribachi. Currently, Iwo-Jima is often limited to civilian, off limits to the civilian and remain littered with olden war equipment. So no civilians are allowed to go and stay in this particular island, and it has not been allowed to them to go there, right? Now, the air on the land smells of sulfur due to volcanic nature, and researchers show that the war dead continues. So here you need to understand that if you go there, you still find the reason of sulfur, or you still see the smell of the sulfur. And that's the reason people are not allowed to go and stay there. Okay. Due to its volcanic nature and people, and it is also search efforts for death war continue. So we are still doing a lot of research that is happening over there. Now, next important article that we have is Kashmir's less known spring blossoms. So there are some spring blossoms which are not known much to people around. Okay, Kashmir spring include endemic species play a key role in biodiversity and cultural heritage. Climate change and human activities are disrupting their natural blooming cycle as well. So here we have Veer Kom. Okay, this is the name of this particular flower. A vibrant yellow flower blooming early in the spring, caterpillar healing and meadows. Traditionally valued for medicinal property is now threatened by habitat loss. So you can see that there is a lot of habitat loss that is basically happening. Now, a golden yellow flower marking the arrival of spring in Kashmir. Its early bloom is now shifted due to climate change and milder winter conditions. Because of this milder winter conditions, this is basically kind of getting changed. Okay, so here there you can see some of the most prominent spring flowers. Here you have Veer Kom. Okay, the name. A delicate yet vibrant blooming, often seen in the carpet, hill, and groves. Right, so this is where it has been seen. A golden yellow flower that marks the arrival of a spring. So the spring has come or no, we'll get to know because of these flowers when they basically come. They are helping, in maintaining the biodiversity, etc. Right? So salix, that is beard, beard musk. So this is a willow species found with soft catkins, commonly found near water bodies in Kashmir. Cultural significant and ecologically vital. It supports earlier pollinators and prevents erosion. So these flowers basically prevents erosion, and there will be early pollination that can happen over here. So hence this is something that is very, very important. So it is helping in biodiversity. Okay. We also have other shrub that is called as skulmans, a shrub with large pink flowers blooming in spring, found in the moist forest slope. This holds medicinal value and supports pollinators in the mid-latitude habits as well. So this is the flower you can see here. This is also called as kulmanch. They're talking about different varieties, not just one variety. They're talking about different varieties over here, right? So another important one is the school months, and another is daffodil that we have. Okay, the bright yellow and white spring flower symbolizes renewal of Kashmir culture. They support early seasons or pollination and often found or featured in the garden and floor. So this is some important type of what you mean to say plants that are present in Kashmir, and it is symbolizing cultural significance also, and it has got medicinal values also. They may ask you which are the important breeds. So know which are the important flowers that we have in this particular valley. Now let us see the important question that we have. What makes the Kashmir's agroclimatical condition distinct from the rest of the India? So try to identify what is it, right? So I will see you guys in tomorrow's class. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, try to put it in the comment section. And also put your answers in the comment section with the explanation.